So today's brief session is about why we should not eat fish. So it turns out that fish are water filters. They clean the water in the ocean. So here is a little bit of statement by one of the uh, websites, oceana.org, Marine Life. The giant pyrosome is a free-floating colonial tunicate that is made of thousands of identical clones, together forming a hollow cylindrical structure that can be 60 feet long and wide enough for a person to enter. Each individual clone is a small, complete animal that filters water non-stop in order to obtain food, flush out waste, and contribute to the propulsion of the entire superorganism. So people can go and learn at oceana.org how fish become water filters. In this case, fish are doing collaboration. They follow they make a huge pipe called pyrosome, and they are filtering water. That's why you see the water next to it. Seems like there is hardly any dust, right? Because these fish are forming the function of a water filter. So what they do is they take the oceanic water and they purify it. And as a result, the body of the fish takes a lot of toxins, especially near the coast, like coast of Tamil Nadu, coast of Andhra Pradesh, coast of Kerala, wherever there is heavy amount of pollution. If people take the fish there and eat it, they will have more diseases because the toxins are now captured in the body of a fish. Same thing is true near Chesapeake Bay in the eastern United States, in the Puget Sound in the western United States, especially California coast, with a lot of industries, effluents. Effluent means something that is coming out of industrial companies. They all go into the ocean, and then the fish, their job is to take the incoming water and pump out good water outside from their gills. So where are all the toxins going? They're going into the body of the fish. So essentially, fish is a water filter, and all the toxins are now carefully captured in the body of the fish that you are eating. Most of the people, when they eat fish, they also drink alcohol, so they don't know the real taste of it, but actually has a lot of chemical taste. So as the trophic interactions are changing, trophic interactions means like one species depending on the other species for food. So there may be new food sources that the fish may find. So for example, they may start eating humans going on the beach. This is just a comical thing, but that's a quite possible scenario. And if you look at this fish, the face of the fish looks like an old obese man. It has lips, it has nose, it has eyes. So it shows that it's also a living entity. It's just like us. So by eating it, we are resorting to cannibalism. Means we are eating our own species. It's almost like that, right? So you can see that that's why the species are all related, because they are also living entities. There is a soul in them. It almost looks like a human. So this is the trophic hierarchy. So there are primary producers like phytoplankton, seaweed, then the herbivorous consumers. These are like small zooplankton and cockles. They don't look like animals. They're just like floating circles or ovals, but they're actually surviving on the phytoplankton. And then these are eaten then by first level carnivorous consumers like fish and jellyfish, as well as other small fish and crustaceans. Crustaceans means like crabs and those kind of things are called crustaceans. And sea star, it looks like a star. There's a central animal and then it has got 8 or 9 different flaring out legs. Then these guys, these smaller fish and jellyfish are eaten by larger fish, second level carnivorous consumers. And those are eaten by third level carnivorous consumers like squid. And those are then eaten by top level carnivores like shark, dolphin, albatross. Um, and then there are a lot of people who go after shark meat, dolphin meat, but they are like top level carnivores, which means they have eaten all these guys. And at each trophic level, heat energy is lost. And when they die, they decompose and then they are assimilated into the body of these different phytoplankton and seaweed kind of things. So, what does it tell us? It tells us that for a shark to survive, it needs a lot of these different zooplankton, which are a lot of this fish and a lot of larger fish, lot of squid and even larger fish like that. And this we have similar tropic cycle for people on the ground, like these primary consumers like bugs and fleas and bees live on this roots and plants. And then there are secondary consumers which eat these primary consumers, like frogs and rats eat these bugs. And then there are other tertiary consumers like snakes and reptiles, and then quaternary consumers, which are like birds, right? So if you start with 20,000 kilocalorie at this level, it comes to 2 kilocalorie. So it's highly concentrated form of energy. There's only a little bit of energy, but it took so much energy for the people at the high level. And then people are eating these birds and things like that. So they're creating a disaster in this chain. So there's the aquatic food web, different animals under the sea, killing and eating each other. So for example, krill is eaten by seals and blue whales. Plankton is eaten by krill. Plankton is eaten by penguin. Penguins are eaten by seals also. So everybody's eating everybody. So the only difference is human beings should not eat these things because we have a higher level of responsibility. So there are different kinds of things like scavengers who are clearing the ocean bottom, opportunistic feeders. They may eat anywhere in the food web depending upon the situation. Then there are primary producers like phytoplankton, which synthesize their energy by the sun's energy. Then zooplankton, like copepods, rotifiers, and larval stages, they are eating the phytoplankton. And then there are predators like sharks, box, jellyfish. They chase their pursuit. I mean, they actually pursue their um, feed and then they kill and eat them. There are others like ambush predators like mantis shrimp, octopuses, and eels. They wait and then they suddenly jump on their prey and kill and eat them, right? And then we have at the top of the predator list is killer whales, leopard seals, large sharks, and sunflower sea stars. These are like very big sea stars. Each one of them, two people need to hold them. Those are very big, like that. So this is the ecosystem. Like every living entity is eating every living entity, with the exception that human being has a special responsibility. So we should not and must not eat all these living entities because there's a chain that the Lord has given for these, but not for human beings. For human beings, their responsibility is higher. And if you look at how these different um, living entities regulate themselves, there is a heart, there are gills, there are internal organs, there are red muscles. So they do heat exchange between the internal and veins and the external veins so as to stay alive. So these are highly evolved, highly developed animals. By eating them, you are cutting down their chain actually. So that is why we should not eat fish, because essentially it is a water filter, it's a sophisticated living entity, it's a soul, and by eating them, you are disturbing the natural balance.